Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of the Canada Puck Podcast's NHL preview for 2022. Good. Technical difficulties aside, we were cruising, and you get 2 fun videos, and maybe 1 full podcast. We'll see how that works.
I suspect it'll come out in 1. And leave it to me to ruin a playoff show when we had so much good momentum.
Well, you jinxed it. You said at the beginning, we had such a great year. Well, except for technical difficulties. I guess you did throw that caveat out there, but...
I warned you. In part 1 of our dramatic 2-part series that we have been plagued by technical issues. And I can't even promise that this is a 2-parter. This might turn into a trilogy. I don't know what's in store.
Let's hope not. All right. So we left off, got through everything. We're feeling good. Into the Edmonton Oiler LA King series. Series prices were given out on the last one. I don't have them in front of me. I think it was like minus 2 something for the Oilers, plus 2 something for the Kings.
Minus 250, plus 200, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I mentioned earlier about Nashville being underrated with the amount of elite finishing talent that they have and their ability to score goals. The Los Angeles Kings are on the exact opposite end of that spectrum. For as good as they were, and that is they finished the year with the 4th most high danger chances, 3rd most scoring opportunities. They only had I think it was 20th most goals because they have literally they finished the year with the worst shooting percentage in the NHL. So for everything that they do right, they're a volume team. That's basically what I'm getting at, is that they need to create chance after chance after chance to fill their goal quota. That's not a game you can play against the Edmonton Oilers, not in Jay Woodcroft's system anyways, because the Oilers' defensive zone coverage has improved substantially, particularly on home ice, where we've seen much better things from Edmonton towards the end of the season. I don't know. Home ice means a lot more to the Oilers than most other teams in the playoffs, and I just don't see how LA can keep pace with them given the circumstances, and that is Edmonton plays good defense, LA needs volume, and then the top 2 Oilers lines can not score at will, but in 20 of their final 38 games, they scored more than 4 goals. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, should be pretty darn close, right? Lots of talent. And I think I alluded to kind of in the podcast is outside of maybe Pettersson, Cal Pettersson maybe has a slight edge over the mess of kind of Mike Smith and Koskinen, but very, very slightly. And defensively, I think the Oilers are sound, at least comparable to the Kings. And then offense is, you have to give it to the Oilers. Oilers might be one of the best in the league, right? So it's a no-brainer, right? So if you look at all the sliders, I think, Oilers. Hopefully Oilers.
One thing that, one intangible for me or one X factor is Mike Smith. Mm-hmm. He has played better towards the end of the season, but if Mike Smith isn't stopping at least 90% of the shots, that's not a good look for the Oilers. And like I said, the one thing that kind of concerns me is this narrative that Todd McClellan can come in and knock off his former team, because I don't think the universe. Yeah, the last thing I heard before my camera cut out or we got kicked off the network, we deserve Calgary versus Edmonton, and we do deserve that. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the universe has other plans for us, and I would hate to see it, but I could see the Oilers falling flat on their face, Mike Smith coming unglued, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl's postseason blues continue. I don't want to. Everything suggests that it would be otherwise, but maybe this is my emotional hedge as opposed to betting actual money, this is me just setting myself up for disaster, so it hurts less when the Kings win.
It helps. It helps. I threw a lot of money on the Sixers on Thursday night there when they were playing the Raptors in Game 6, because I was like, as much as all the narrative is they're going to blow it, the Raptors are going to be the first ever to come back from 3-0, I was like, I just don't know if it's going to happen. I have the day off on Saturday. I can actually watch the game. I was like, the universe isn't going to give me nice things. But I benefited. Knowing that the universe is a cold mistress, so it's not terrible.
But you court her well, I will say that. You've struck this balance that most other people don't know about. So good for you, Mick. I hope that there's some people out there who take your advice so that no matter what happens in the world, you end the day happy.
Yeah.
Because very few people have that perspective.
Just know that you're going to be butchered and you're just here to be just abused. But money makes the abuse not feel so bad. So it's good stuff. Yeah, that's kind of it for the Oilers preview there. And I think that wraps up the series. Hey?
That's it. That's all. Thank you. Fuck you. Say two.
Cool. Yo. Didn't fill out a bracket necessarily. We're not going to run a bracket. Go from there. Bettor Advice. I have looked game line. So if we don't want to do series prices, we could in theory pick put money on individual game ones. Those lines are up. So if you're interested, I can let you know. Other than that, what are you gonna do with your money? How about a season recap? We'll start with that. So no fantasy advice. So we're usually doing a FanDuel lineup. Maybe we'll get to it next week, depending kind of what the slate looks like. But I think based on our previous results, we were kind of just treading water there. We lost the mojo, and maybe we just cut bait for the season. We're not going to run a playoff pool. I think we're just going to gamble. So end of the year, Grant, how'd you do?
Yeah, not good.
No.
The only I hit the over in the Ottawa-Montreal game last week, and lo and behold, the lesson that I finally learned in our last possible regular season matchup, St. Louis ended up going overtime with Arizona, and was it? Yeah, it was St. Louis and Arizona. So that pushed me ahead for the week, but it wasn't enough to dig myself out of the hole. I think I went 2 for 4. I think I missed one overtime game and one money line pick last week. Can't remember off the top of my head, but all things considered, not losing money was a big victory for me, at least on the podcast world. So I'm hoping that's an omen for good things as we speed towards the postseason here.
Nice. Yo. Let's see. Where do I have my paper? Why am I way back here? What is happening? I went too far back. So myself, I ended up losing $12, almost $13, $12.96. That was my first losing week I've had in a while, a good while. So I ended the season up over $800. So if you would have listened to my advice, you'd be up over $800. It's pretty good.
That's not bad. You deserve a slow clap for that one. You schooled me. In former years, the agreement would be you get to ride me like a toboggan.
Yeah.
But we didn't set those terms at the start of this year, so maybe we'll have to set terms and actually follow through with them next year, because I feel like that's the one thing that's been missing is the follow through. You owed me a smack in the face with the sub. I got to ride you as a toboggan. None of these things have actually played out.
We've never seen on my George Costanza album. Like, it's...
All right. This is the year. 2022-23 will be the follow-through year. We will get there.
Look out. So for myself, chalk that up as a victory for myself. We'll start fresh. Clean slate for the playoffs. $100 bonus. This is just extra bonus money because Grant was so good to the casino. They feel bad for taking all his money all season. They're going to give us a $100 bonus each. And then we'll start with an actual bankroll next week. How are you going to spend your $100 this week? I've got 3 plays.
So I thought we were rolling over, so I was feeling a little reckless. So you know what? The train's already left the station. I knew I had to play a little bit of catch-up here. So I have 3 picks.
All right, nice. All right, I'm going to go, just get it out of the way, Band-Aid off, $50, emotional hedge. Tampa, plus 110 to win like $105. That's my first play. Start fresh, pad my pocket, make next week not hurt so much.
It's a classic opening play for Mick here. Yep. Those of you who've been following along, emotional hedge, plus money on the opposition. Can't fault a guy for, what got him here. As mentioned, I thought when I was playing catch up. So I have a 4-team series parlay. I had originally planned to do one for each conference, and just taking all 4. But I thought, you know what? I'm just going to take my favorite of the favorite. Ended up with 3 Eastern, 1 Western Conference. Starting at the top, Minnesota Wild. I have it at minus 164 here.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't think St. Louis puts up much of a fight in this one. I bet you this is done in 5, if not 4 games. Minnesota is that far ahead of them analytically, and like I mentioned with Fleury, I just love the look of this team. Pittsburgh Penguins, as mentioned, I don't think New York deserves nice things. So Pittsburgh, I have it at -110. I think you said -115, but for our bookkeeping purposes, we'll do -110 because I got the parlay here at the bottom. Boston Bruins +102. Carolina has had some luck, and at the outset of the season, I thought Carolina is the team to beat. And at +2, I think it was +20. Yeah, I think it was +20. 20-1. I was like, this team is going to make some noise this year. They have made some noise, but goaltending issues have me on the other side of this playoff series. Boston +102. Lastly, Mick's going to like this one. Toronto Maple Leafs -130. I have been talking about this since last year. Toronto is going to win a playoff series. In fact, I think that mathemologists will be able to say when you point to a regression to the mean, when you get one extreme result, typically you get an even more extreme result the next time. And 6 years of losing playoffs is, I would say, one end of this extreme. I think that the other end of the extreme is Toronto overachieving this year. So Toronto, first round victory is not going to be their limitations. I think that we're going on a deep playoff run with the Leafs. All 4 playoff series, I bet $50 to win $499.15.
Yeah, Grant's going to just kill me in the postseason to make up for that.
Playoff Grant, best version of me. Everybody knows that.
And the only reason I'm saying clean slate is I think years past when I've been behind, there was some year 2 or 3 I said we get a clean slate for the playoffs, we get to try again. So we might as well just carry. Now that a fact in my head, we might as well just we have to stay with the institution, as it were. Myself, I like Edmonton. I like the Flames. I want a Battle of Alberta in round 2. Something to sink our teeth into, be excited about. Both parlayed together get you -110, so $40 on that to win about $76. Is play number 2 for myself.
I hope that pans out. We need that. I think that
so badly. Yeah.
Calgary Flames fans, I will say, are probably a little bit more fair weather than Edmonton Oilers fans. And we've been through some lean times as Oilers fans, but generally, for the most part, there's still a lot of community involvement. There's still sellouts. That's not the same in Calgary. When the Leafs sucks, that building is empty. Nobody goes to games. You can basically get in the front door or the second bowl for $20, if not less. But that being said, I would love to see Calgary versus Edmonton to see both city come alive and the playoff rivalry renewed. It's on that basis that I am taking, as mentioned, with hedging earlier in part 1 of our exciting 2-part series, Edmonton to make the conference or to win the Western Conference championship at +750.
Sweet.
If Mick's prediction is right, we are guaranteed a Canadian playoff team in the Western Conference Finals. Taking Edmonton at +750 offers some hedging opportunities in the second round, as opposed to taking Calgary at +270 and then leaving yourself a little bit short. So,
sweet.
You know what? Maybe I just talked myself into the other way. No, you know what? Never mind. I'm sticking with it. Edmonton, $750. I'm betting $25. Let me just see here. $25 to win $187.50 to win the Western Conference.
All right. Nice. And then final play, I got $10 if you're doing the math correctly left on my bonus, and I have to go with. Yeah, we decided that Seattle wasn't going to win tonight, but we don't need to rehash that. I'm going to go with Nashville +450. Grant swayed me over the edge, so I really hope that wasn't your play because I stole it from you. $10 on that to win 55. I like those to shoot for the sky, as it were.
No, you know what? I'm doing the exact same thing, only in the Eastern Conference, and that is I'm taking Toronto to win the East at +500 with the anticipation that they're going to be facing off against the Florida Panthers in round 2.
Great.
Maybe not. Maybe Capitals come through. Whatever the case may be, I like Toronto at +500. $25 to win $125. Again, hedging opportunities in mind. we'll see how this plays out over the next few rounds here. But hopefully, I'm not out $50, because it would be nice to see this through and see if I could actually turn this into real money long term.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
or
nice.
hypothetical money, I should say, long term.
Yes, hypothetical fake money long term. Awesome. Yeah, it's good stuff. I like those plays. I like that picks. I like where our heads are at. We have some optimism, right? Like Grant broke my heart last year when he told me the Montreal Canadiens were definitely going to beat the Leafs, and I said, poppycock. But he was right. I was wrong. Hopefully he's right this year. I'm wrong.
Well, time will tell. We're going to see these things play out in real time over the next few weeks, and I'm so excited about that. There's just an intensity to the NHL playoffs that other sports can't match. Whether it's overtime, like the excitement of overtime, like the intensity of just like these raucous buildings, like it's just something else. Playoff hockey is a whole different beast. Doesn't even matter if it's NHL or otherwise, but I'm excited to see, hopefully, an all-Canadian second-round matchup. And if the cards shake out just right, an NHL Stanley Cup final featuring 2 Canadian NHL teams, which would be the most exciting time in Canada Puck podcast history.
That would be pretty exciting. That means the Stanley Cup would have been won in a Canadian city the last 3 years. That's a pretty good run.
Damn, I didn't even think of that.
Or wait, did Tampa Bay win it in Tampa Bay last year? Yeah, because they won it in Game 5, right? Because they were like kicking the crap out of the Canadians, and all of a sudden they randomly lost Game 4, and I think they won it on home ice, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
But it was close, right? Like pretty darn close. Like let's be real. They won Game 4. They definitely were like, no, let's go win this in Tampa Bay. Let's go be with our families in front of our fans. So
they got to celebrate with dozens of excited Tampa Bay Lightning fans.
They're like, man, I can't believe the Bucks won the Stanley Cup this year.
Well, yeah. Good luck to you as we embark on our postseason Bettor Advice segment. Hopefully your outstanding run throughout the regular season carries over to the postseason. Hopefully my not shitting myself in the last week of the season carries over to the postseason run. But however it plays out, there'll be some exciting times along the way.
Good stuff, good stuff. With that wraps up our playoff preview. I mean, I know we've been podcasting for a very long time. This makes for a short second video. I guess just kind of adds on to the video. What else is going on in sports? Basketball. Anything tickle your fancies last week in basketball?
You know what? I'm ashamed to admit this, but it was 99-98 in Minnesota-Memphis last night with about 3 minutes to go. I was out at a trampoline park, and I got carried away into some exciting stuff, and that is the trampoline life. How did it play out? Who won Game 6? Did Minnesota hang on to win?
Memphis won.
Not that I had really a horse in the race, but I had a soft spot in my heart for the Timberwolves. I was kind of hoping they'd do all right, but
yeah, there was like they started chucking the ball up. There was chances late. They were down 4. Karl Anthony Towns like threw up a ball from like 30 feet away, and they just played better team basketball. Seemed like the Grizzlies anyways, so congratulations. They get to the second round. Joel Embiid's got a fractured head, got a concussion. I don't know. It just seems like a mess.
Does he actually?
Yeah, I think he took an elbow to the face or something. He has like a fractured orbital bone and a concussion and is like out indefinitely. So,
damn.
Yeah, good for them.
All right. Well, with that in mind, who do you like coming out of the East then? Is this just Boston's to lose? Can they get past Milwaukee?
Well, because Milwaukee's missing Chris Middleton, their second best player. Jimmy Butler and Kyle Lowry are both, and like Tyler Hero and somebody else all missed practice for the Heat yesterday. So that's like their best 3 players. We've got a broken Embiid. We've got a fat Harden. It kind of just has to be the Celtics at this point, right? And then going the other way, Mavericks. You'd have to say Warriors, Celtics.
Another stupid question. I'm gonna make myself sound even dumber. Did Phoenix get past New Orleans in 6 games?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they ended up pulling that one off, but it should be close too. We'll see if Devin Booker comes back. If that does, everyone kind of has been loving Phoenix all year. I mean, they had a phenomenal season. I don't think they may not have lost a home game all season.
Phoenix?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that would be something.
Well, apparently when a Canadian guy doesn't play for them, we don't really talk about it up here now, do we?
I have a small vested interest in Chris Paul. I'm sorry for cursing him like this, but I want Chris Paul to win a championship. That guy deserves one.
Yeah.
He plays that. We don't talk about grittiness a lot in the NBA.
Nope.
But Chris Paul is a gritty NBA player.
Oh yeah. Very, very true. Baseball, status quo is what it is. Just kind of clipping along.
Mike Trout did big things this week. I think it was a 1.762 OPS this week. I think he had 6 of his 12 hits were for extra bases, one of which was a check swing triple. I don't know if you saw that.
No. He
check swinged tripled a ball, which is fucking crazy. So I will say the MVP race, the gap is closing between Shohei Ohtani and the rest of the pack.
Yeah.
Like Byron Buxton's doing good things. Vlad Guerrero is still he had a bit of a quiet week, but he's still looking good. Mike Trout, Byron Buxton, like there's some exciting baseball players in the AL this year.
Nice. Yeah. I like Bichette. I like Bichette as a kind of a under like a dark horse MVP candidate, right? They'll be talking about at the end of the year. Just lots of contact, plays every day. Could get some love, especially if the Jays have kind of a good season. So I bought some rookie cards. I bought like a nice graded one. It was like $30-something, $38 I paid. Came to me, had a crack in the case. The guy gave me $20 back, kept the card. So it's down to $18. That card, right now, eBay, going for $80. So.
Damn. That's a steal. I have 2 Bo Bichette rookie cards. I dug them out last week after we chatted a little bit about it.
Nice.
Not graded, but maybe I got to get into that graded cards.
Yeah.
Even my Pokemon cards, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's worth the investment.
Yeah. And then what? Football draft was last couple nights. Kind of seems uninteresting.
I didn't feel the hype that I typically do.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like lack of star power. Like there wasn't that one standout player that's going to be a generational talent. As a Steelers fan, they took Kenny Pickett. I was like, I know that this is that, Disney storybook ending guy comes up through the ranks, plays college football at Heinz Stadium with the Pitt Panthers, drafted by his home team. I don't think he's probably better than Mitch Trubisky, but a ham sandwich is better than Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, I've heard mixed reviews on that as well. And I think just the lack of quarterbacks, right? Like that's essentially, I realize there's 52 men on the field, but really everyone just kind of cares about quarterbacks, right? At the end of the day, and the fact that Pickett was the only first rounder, there was no one in the second round, and then I think like the Falcons in Tennessee finally picked. It was like Malik Willis and whoever
Matt Corral. The Panthers.
The other guy or something. Yeah.
So, not a whole bunch to get excited about this year. At least nothing that really got my attention going. What was it? 6 wide receivers drafted in the first round, none of which went to the Green Bay Packers. Like, what the fuck are you doing, Green Bay?
Well, apparently they got 2 really good defensive prospects. And if you want to build, you kind of do need some level of defense, right? They ended up getting a guy in the second round that apparently wasn't terrible. But I don't know. There's some organizations that you're like, wow, they did a really good job. It just, I don't know, it seems busy. I think there's going to be a lot of work to get ready for fantasy football season this next year. You're going to have to do a lot of work and grind some tape, look at some offensive lines, do some math because, I don't know. Some things have changed, but it's just going to be a mess.
It is going to be a mess. And Green Bay is going to be leading that messy pack. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers throwing to Robert Tonyan? Alan Lazard?
Yeah.
That's it? That's your plan, Green Bay? Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
You stupid bastards. Oh my god. Don't even get me started.
Yeah,
you know what?
Unless they go on a run here in the next the 4th or 5th round and they end up with like 4 wide receivers out of the draft or something, and you're like, oh, there's lots of prospect, and Rodgers just has to click with 1 or 2 guys and we're good. But I don't know if it's happening.
Maybe it's, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. The thing, too, is the NFC North is, I don't want to say loaded with talent, but they're getting better. Minnesota got rid of their Robert Crappy coach.
Yeah.
They brought in somebody new and exciting. Justin Fields got a full year of...
Yeah, and I mean, I guess just to parse, where's the pressure, right? Like, maybe the Vikings for that division, and Tom Brady's there, and the Niners, and maybe the Rams. But that might be it for, like, NFC teams that have, like, the Cowboys, I guess. We're going to throw them out there. But, like, I think the Packers just make the postseason just by default.
Maybe that's the case. Maybe they're sandbagging us, those sandbagging sons of bitches.
Sons of bitches. Sons of bitches. I think that's it. That's literally every sport that matters anyways. I'm looking at you. Badminton. I don't know, I'm ripping on badminton. I don't even think you can watch badminton on TV, so...
Table tennis, you table tennis.
I haven't seen a good table tennis match on Sportsnet for a while. I guess ever since they got hockey, they kind of don't really have a need for it. So
my pool viewing has definitely taken a hit, but well, we ran through all the playoff series. We gave you some gambling advice. We talked about all the sports because we are sports fans first and foremost. But the Canada Puck Podcast would not be the Canada Puck Podcast without our Babe of the Week. This one, Mrs. Interscope, Mrs. _ Interscope. So MRS_INTERSCOPE is her handle. Sarah Jones is her name, and my heart owner is her profession, because this lady could have it all. She could just have me any way she wants me.
I like the gold bikini, bike, and skateboard. She's definitely getting around.
Oh, I didn't even think of that metaphor. Oh, this is why we do this, Mick.
Yep. There you go.
Mrs. Interscope is 100% our Babe of the Week.
Schwing. All right. So that's it. Wraps up today. Watch some hockey. Be back next week. Lick our wounds. That's all we can do. So maybe things will go nice. Maybe there'll be 12 games between the Flames, the Oilers, and the Leafs, and we just get 3 sweeps. Don't worry about it. Forget about it.
I'm not convinced it's going to be that easy for the Oilers.
As much as we build this up, if you played better than your opponent 51% of the time, so I'm not saying great, just 51% of the time, in theory, you would win the 7th game. So you'd get three of the first 6, and then you would get the 7th, because you have that extra 1%. That does, I don't know. Sports are funny like that, that's a long time of being almost mediocre, essentially, right? You're only better than them 51% of the time, and it was 7-game series, but you won the Stanley Cup. It's a grind.
What you're describing is betting in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Hanging on for that 1% edge and hoping for the best.
Yep, that's it. Fingers crossed. So, but with that, that wraps up this week. As always, we finish by saying, party on, Grant.
Party on, Mick. We'll see everybody next week.